in sickness and in health, in life and in death. I'm glad to have found you. This is Sidetracked.
Sidetracked, we're getting sidetracked. Yes, we're getting sidetracked.
What were we talking about?
Yung podcast.
Wait, are we recording already?
Yeah, we were just about to start.
Should we start that again?
Again?
Nah, it's fine.
Side?
Tracked?
Where?
So, this is Lila.
I'm Bri.
And I'm Kay.
So, ano na?
Gusto ko may
Ano?
pauses tayo sa intro. Emphasize the name.
You both giggled.
Bri, K. So, ayun na nga, kakontinue lang natin yung discussion from the last episode for Clannad After Story. If you
Yes.
haven't listened to that one, pause this episode first, go back, listen to that first. Kasi out of context. So, hindi yung baka malito kayo. So,
Malito
anyway,
kayo
ayun na
bakit
nga.
nagte-therapy na tayo out of
Baka
nowhere.
tayo nag-therapy. So,
Or maybe you're unhinged and you like watching stuff out of order. That's on you.
that's perfectly valid. Everyone is accepted here unless it's something illegal. So,
You may not know.
so, ayun na nga, with Nagisa and how she handled Tomoya's thing.
With her dad. With his dad.
Yeah, with his dad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's what she said.
Good.
Let's rephrase that. Let's talk about Nagisa's poor handling of Tomoya's trauma about his dad. Ayun, that's what I meant.
There you go.
Get out of the gutter. I am a pure child of God. Charot.
Are you?
No.
That's a discovery for us.
Let us not
Oh my
lie
God.
in this episode. We
I
pointed
have
it out in the first season as well. How pushy
really. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
how pushy
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Nagisa
yeah.
was.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah. So like
Nagisa, you have like this good role models. Like listen
Yeah.
to them.
Yeah. Like I just don't like how forceful Nagisa is na reconcile with your dad. Na parang not everyone has a good family. And sometimes kahit na there's a perfectly valid reason for things to happen, the person who has been in pain doesn't have to forgive if they don't want to.
Exactly. And they, I actually, in that note, I like how the parents handled it. Because they just made Tomoya meet his grandmother.
Yeah.
And then they just let them talk. They
Yeah.
made Tomoya make the decision.
And
They-
like they just let him figure things out on his own instead of
Yeah.
pushing the narrative on him.
Yeah, parang,
Yeah.
ito yung dad mo. Parang, you
So
should
dapat
listen
ganito ka
to
din.
him.
Parang
Parang,
ganun.
they just let, parang since they are technically not like related, so they don't
Yeah.
have the right to say things for her for his dad. So like
Yeah.
it's really good that they just let the grandmother talk to Tomoya.
Yeah.
And then Tomoya
Especially
realized.
Yeah, especially when it's the grandmother who has the most connection to the family apart from Tomoya.
Yeah. And like
Yeah.
she knows his son. So
Yeah.
parang it's easier to hear it from her instead of someone, even if she is like the love of your life, your soulmate and everything. It's like it's still hard to hear it from someone. Na your dad's just looking out for you. Like you're not there. Why? What makes you think that?
Yeah.
Parang ganon.
Like yun yung ano kay Nagisa na parang he's still your dad, but like you didn't see what happened when
You don't-
Tomoya was growing up. You don't know what the fuck happened.
Yeah,
Diba?
and like we don't know if the dad is good or not. Like we only
Yeah.
knew because the grandmother told us, and
Yeah.
then that's when Tomoya like remembered everything.
Yeah.
Like
And
They
that's fine because the grandmother
yeah,
knows. The
yeah.
grandmother has
Like
like a bigger role in the whole thing than Nagisa.
she's just not saying it because it's what it's expected, because it's
Yeah.
family and everything.
Yeah.
Like it's
It's because
actually
what she
what,
actually saw.
yeah, but it's what happened. It's what
Yeah.
actually happened. So
Yeah.
that's what she said. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
It That's why Tomoya, in a way, that he had that memory, he remembered it, and it makes sense that talking to his grandmother helped him realize and like actually understand his dad. But like if he talks to it, if he talks about his dad to Nagisa or Nagisa's parents, then they're outsiders. Like even
Yeah.
though they're technically family now, they're still
Yeah.
outsiders in that sort in that
Yeah, in that area of the
yeah,
family. Na
yeah,
parang she
exactly,
doesn't know what happened.
yeah.
'Di ba? Parang they've just been living alongside each other. She doesn't know what actually happened. So that she has no right to say that he's still your dad, he's still ganito ganyan. Like you don't know anything. Like shut the fuck up.
It would I would understand it if she was there when it was happening, when it was
Yes.
like currently happening, and then
But she
he
wasn't.
grew up with Tomoya, and then
Yeah.
she saw how his dad was ganyan ganyan.
Yeah.
I would understand. It's still not her place to say
Yeah.
anything, but I would understand
Yeah.
because she kind of had like um
Yeah.
she kind of saw like
Had an insight.
yeah,
And
yeah.
and the thing is Nagisa is extremely biased because she has a good family. So
Exactly.
like
That's also
so
one.
that's another thing that makes her like n- not really have the place to sit to comment on anything
Mm.
about broken families because she doesn't have a broken family. So she does not understand the
It's
pain that it will give you and the
just
burden of
that
it.
like if you're a good if you have a good family, like good for you, you're blessed.
Yeah. Yeah, like like congratulations, I'm happy for
But
you.
like
Thank you.
don't
Like there's nothing, yeah.
Thank you.
but like don't tell me that
What to do.
I should
Don't tell
be
me how I
happy
should feel.
with
Yeah.
my family
Yeah.
because we're
Cuz
not the same. You're
yeah.
blessed, I'm not.
Yeah.
And I'm not just
Like
saying that that to be like very negative or anything.
yeah.
It's the
It's just
reality.
factual.
Yeah.
Because
Like
like you do not understand the pain
yeah.
that we would that us having either a toxic family dynamic or an abusive family dynamic.
Yeah.
Like you don't understand the pain that it has and how much it will burden you from a child until you grow up.
Yeah,
Like you
like
don't know. Like I'm
you
sure you have your own trauma,
yeah.
but it's not my trauma. Alam mo
You
yon.
shouldn't tell someone to forgive someone just because.
Ah,
Just because
ito yung
you
word
can forgive your family.
ito yung word na kanina ko pa inisip. It's invalidating. Ayun.
Yes.
Kanina ko pa
Yes.
inisip
Yes.
yun.
Yes. That's why I hate it. Like every time merong palabas, like it's whether it's anime or a film or a TV series, I don't care. Like
Yeah.
if they're trying to tackle like toxic family dynamic and
They're
like
still your
parent child estrangement, na parang they're still your family. Like no, the fuck not. No.
you shouldn't throw the word family around like that.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
very it's it's what's the word? It's insulting.
Yeah. Kasi
parang,
parang
parang
it kind
kasalanan
of
ko pa na ganito yung
yeah.
nararamdaman ko.
Parang yeah, parang it's a guilt trippy na parang you're wrong for feeling the way you do because that is your family.
Yeah.
'Di ba? Alam mo yun, parang oh, like I don't kaya like and again another personal thing but like I don't mind if this is
Mm.
put out in public but Kay, when I had this conversation with Kay, 'di ba, sabi ko na I feel like I'm gonna have issues with like relationships kasi like if I get married and then like my partner has their family and I don't have my family and then Kay's like they're not your family. I'm your family. We're your family. And I'm like, oh, okay. That kind of recalibrated everything for me. Like, oh yeah, that's right.
And like
Yeah.
It's chosen
honestly,
family.
Yeah. Found family.
honestly, like if you're blessed, then I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
But
Genuinely, without
yeah,
any hint of bitterness. Like,
I'm not
genuinely, I'm happy.
I'm not like envious na you're happy, so parang
You should
I
I
hate you because you're
uh,
happy and I'm
you
not.
shouldn't
Parang
be
ganun.
Yeah.
happy because I'm not
Yeah.
happy.
Parang
Yeah.
it's not that. I'm not feeling that way with any maybe
Yeah.
when I was younger,
Yeah. Ako
I
din.
had like envy like
Yes.
I've had those moments of envy na everyone in my like all of my friends have both their mom and their dad.
Yeah. Sa akin naman iba. Like you would quote unquote envy me for having both my
Yeah.
parents. Alam mo yan, but I would envy Kay for their parents not hurting them. Kay would probably be jealous of other family dynamics who don't invalidate their depression.
Confidential. Nope. This is a secret. Very, very confidential.
Hindi
Iyak
to
tayo.
hindi to Clannad discussion, it's therapy.
It's
Sidetrack
therapy.
therapy. I'm the psychologist here.
Maybe maybe I should change my outro. Thank you for having therapy with us.
Thank you for
Oh my
uncovering family trauma with
god.
Tourist spots.
Hello! So, here is a new segment for you guys. It's called Tourist Spots, and this is just us telling you our recommendations. So, my first recommendation would be hypnosis microphone. This is a weird one, so ride with me. Okay? So, in this story, basically the women have taken over ruling politics and they've banned weapons, so guns and all that. And they created this thing called a microphone, and when you use that microphone you rap stuff, and it basically does something to your brain. It's very scientific. I don't want to go into that, but it affects your nerves or something, and it influences your thought process, and it it
gives
basically
you superpowers.
no, it hurts you and stuff because it's in the brain. And the legendary rap group, which is the Dirty Dogs, so they split into four groups, and that's the divisions. Um yeah, basically that's it. It's a franchise full of seiyus, so the seiyus are the ones rapping, and they created an anime, there's a manga, there's also a game, and surprisingly enough, this is we're filming this in 2023. It is 2023. I mean, we were filming this in March, and it's the third anniversary of the game, which is alternative rap battle. So it's a rhythm game, and it also has some stories in it. It's actually really nice. The rhythm game itself is very it's easy to play, and surprisingly enough, I'm getting a lot of SSRs, but still depends on your luck. But the game is only available in Japan, so if your app store is not in Japan, you can't really download the game. But I do recommend the game. My recommendation is the songs. So the songs are really good. The seiyus are really, I don't know why, but some of them are really good at rapping, which is really surprising. I actually got into hip mic because Salma is in it. Saito Salma is in it. I got recommended in YouTube. So there's like a lot of Salma videos on my YouTube, and one recommendation was like, listen to Salma rapping, and then it's the hip mic franchise. I got into the hip mic franchise when before Hood Star came out. So I don't remember what year was that. But this the hip mic songs was actually the one that made me pass my board exams.
Magic.
because yeah,
Magic.
because yeah, because when I was studying for the board exams, hip mic soundtrack was the only thing that I'm listening to all day. And when I was answering for the board exams, the hip mic soundtrack was playing in my head, which made me focus more.
Wow.
And I was like,
I
yeah,
thought
I
it
was
reminded you of the answers.
yeah, it was like, oh, I know this.
So,
I read about this.
lesson learned for all board exam test takers. Listen to it like.
It might was a miracle. It's really funny because they're rapping and stuff, and like, there's a lyrics. There's like, all my dicks, all my fellow dicks and chicks from Yokohama. You better take the attention away from all the other divisions and bring it to us. That's the lyrics, by the way. It's an actual lyrics. I love that song, by the way. So I don't recommend a specific song. Just listen to all of the songs. They have six divisions right now currently. So there's four in Tokyo, and then Osaka and Nagoya. So there's three characters per division, and the seiyus that voice the characters are very similar to the characters that they're voicing, which is really it's a nice surprise. So, um, it the story is weird, but once you get into it, you'd be like, oh really? Oh shit, it's like wow. Okay, I'm gonna shut up now. But it's it's a good one. I like the songs. And oh, I recommend Stella. I Stella's my favorite song. It's from Fling Pose, my favorite division. I'll shut up now. Thank you.
Tourist Pause.
Pero yun,
Ah,
yun yung, yeah. Like, I'm glad that they tackled that part
yeah,
in the story and like how they handled it. And I'm glad that there's someone like Akio and Sana. And no matter how weird they are, I love them.
yeah.
I genuinely love them.
They
Yeah.
are definitely they're
Yeah.
the type of parents that you want your friends to have, so you can just like be
Yes.
parent with them as well.
Yes. And like, they're the embarrassing parents, but not in the bad way.
Yeah.
Kasi di ba may
They're
embarrassing parents na parang, I
they're
don't
the
know
loving,
you.
embarrassing parents.
Yeah, like parang you can just look back fondly over it.
Like the theater scene.
I'm sorry, what?
The theater scene.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
Whoops.
Oh no.
Anyways.
Ikaw naman
um,
yung nag-remind.
yeah.
Last week, pinapagalitan mo ako kasi ako yung nag-remind. Ngayon naman, ikaw yung nag-bring up.
Anyways, tapos na tayo. Yun yung
Okay,
kanina ko
wait lang.
pa.
Let me just check my notes just to make sure na tapos na talaga tayo kasi
Okay.
ayoko nang balikan.
Yun yung kanina ko pa medyo hine-hesitate na ano eh. Kaya kanina, di ba, I was like, while you're checking your notes, di ba kanina parang iniisip ko, paano ko siya sisimulan? Parang I was like planning on how to like handle the discussion. So
Yeah.
isip ko, should I start with the real world or the robot world? Pero naisip ko, parang medyo heavy pag nagsimula agad sa real
Yeah.
world. So like, sige, after, yung ano na lang muna, yung robot world muna. Let's ease into it.
Oh my God. I think you add ko lang is Akio, like, di ba, like Yoshino is a good brother to, a good big brother to Tomoya. Akio is also a good father figure to Tomoya
Yeah.
in a sense that he's so good at grounding him.
Mm-mm.
'Di ba? Kasi parang there have been several moments throughout the story, even like from the beginning, like the first season, where you can tell na Tomoya is about to spiral,
Mm-mm.
and then all of a sudden Akio's just there. Like he just knows.
Yeah.
And then he says something, and then Tomoya's like, he's right. I should get my shit together. Parang ganun. Like, Akio is such a good father figure to
Mm.
Tomoya. And like, I appreciate him so much. I
Honestly,
appreciate him so much.
I feel like Tomoya's dad, parang Akio is the father figure that Tomoya's dad wants to be.
Na if Tomoya's dad didn't get into his vices, he probably could have been that way as well.
Parang he definitely wanted to be that. Parang, but he kind of spiraled too
Mhm.
much
Yeah.
na nakalimutan na niya yung parang pinaka main goal niya. And
Yeah.
then sa
Which
dulo,
is to take care of Tomoya.
yeah, and then sa dulo parang sabi niya, oh, I have done it without even realizing it. Gumanon siya, diba?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
Na
actually
parang,
freaking
like,
sad.
yeah. That broke my heart because I'm like, he just wants the best for Tomoya, but like he couldn't give himself credit for it
Yeah.
because he feels like he hasn't done anything.
Mm-mm.
Though he has reached the goal that he wanted, he doesn't know how he got there
And
because
like
he just discredited himself so much.
honestly though, cause like he accepted the fact that he is shit because of his
Yeah.
vices. So like it's understandable. So it's really sad to see na just because of these vices, parang he nawala siya sa path niya,
Yeah.
parang ganon.
And like he's stuck on a what could have been
Mm-mm.
because he never got that. Though again, this is gonna sound fucked up. I appreciate na they made Tomoya's dad aware
Mm-mm.
of like where he went wrong.
Yeah.
Like I don't like how he just stayed there. I
Yeah.
don't like how he didn't actively do something to be better, even
Mm-hmm.
though he knows what's going on. But I appreciate the fact that he knows what's going on.
Yeah.
He's
He's not
aware.
ignorant, yeah.
Yeah.
Yung next kong gustong anuhin is yung graduation ni Nagisa. It's
Mm-hmm.
actually really nice to see the good work that Nagisa did before is coming back for her. So like that
Mm.
time where Fuko they were helping Fuko, parang they were pretending to have like a class for Fuko, if you
Yeah.
remember that. And now
And
they're
then they
pretending
pretending to
to
have
have
a
a
graduation.
graduation. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was like
Yeah.
really sweet then na parang
Yeah.
they still have yung fruits of her labor. Parang ganun.
Yeah.
Parang, what comes around goes around talaga.
Yes.
Ganun.
Yes.
Parang, she was really nice to, all these people, and these people, like, gusto nilang magbalik lang ng ano nila doon kay Nagisa. So that was a really nice scene to see. One of the
Yes.
only romantic things that I've seen um in terms of like Tomoya doing it for Nagisa and shit. Like bilang lang yung romance sa Clannad. So
Yeah. Like yung as in active romance,
yeah.
yung as in
Ang
active
type
na
I
may
could get.
kilig.
Ang type I
It's
could get.
fine.
It's
I
kind of
accept it.
like the game mechanics. Now you have to be kind to everyone so that your wish will come true in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
It's just like really nice to see yung parang parallelism lang din
Yes.
na they were pretending for Fuko, now they're
And
pretending for
like
Nagisa.
to add to that na Nagisa became friends with all of them because of the theater.
Mm-mm.
And now they're back for Nagisa during her own graduation, even
Yeah.
though all of them have already graduated. They
And you
came
know,
back.
it's funny as well because, like, technically speaking, Nagisa's older than all of them. She's the
Yes.
oldest.
Yes, yes, yes. She's like a year older, right? A year?
Yeah, she's a year
Yes.
older. But like she was the one who was like pinaka late nag-graduate. It's
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
nice to see that then in fiction. Parang it's just showing na you have your own pace. It's fine if you
Yes.
don't parang graduate the same time as all your
Yes.
peers.
Kasi diba, that's like one of the biggest insecurities for Nagisa
Mm-mm.
na
Kept repeating.
sobrang delayed siya, hirap siya makipag-friends kasi lahat ng friends niya graduate na, parang
Mm-mm.
ganun. But like, it's fine. Like it's not a race.
Yeah.
There's no finish line.
Yeah.
Diba? Parang you're just walking your own path. So like, do it at your own pace and it's
And
perfectly
like
fine.
you did it. You finished high school.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
congratulations.
Even though like, you're the oldest and like you've been delayed, you still got there.
And
And it's
you
fine.
even found a lot of people that you care for and
Yeah.
cares for you in
Yeah.
return. So like
Yeah. I can't actually really relate to that kasi 'di ba ireg ako?
yeah.
'Di ba? Like I mean, technically I'm on time kasi advanced ako masyadong nag-aral. So
Yeah.
technically, I just like went back on the right track.
Yeah.
Technically, pero like I get the insecurity na a lot of my first blockmates, they've had this. They're in med school.
Yeah.
Like recently, nakita ko sa Instagram na a lot of them graduated already.
Yeah.
They're already doing the residency.
Mm.
Na, tapos parang, wala lang, parang that could have been me. Parang
Yeah.
sometimes bumabalik yun recently na parang, that could have been me. I could have been with them. I could have stayed friends with them. Or parang, I could have been like a doctor, like the youngest graduate, I would say, in my family. Kasi diba, I was pretty young when I started
Mm.
studying. Pero at the same time, I'm like, there's no glory in being the youngest anything.
Mm.
If one, I'm not enjoying it, and number two, if it's harmful for me.
Yeah.
Kasi the stress, di ba, like, I started deciding on my career at 13 years old.
Yeah.
I started preparing around 13, 14,
Mm.
and like doing the exams. And then I entered college at 15.
Mm.
And like, that's too young to really know what you want to do.
Mm.
Right? And I have been shamed for it. I've been told na sinayang ko yung pera. Kasi I mean,
Mm.
it's true, sinayang ko yung pera. That's like 500,000 pesos a year
Yeah.
down the drain.
Yeah.
Then that's on me. Pero, parang, it's not really, it wasn't really good for my mental health kasi nagkasakit ako ng
Mm.
sobra. And that, parang akong sinagisa, that affected my grades.
Mm.
Tapos yun nga, di ba, nun pa nga yung realization na, oh, I'm being abused. So I'm like,
Mm.
everything at once. So, nung napunta ako sa, I was actually really insecure. I was having a lot of insecurities na,
Mm.
oh, I'm delayed. Pero like, when I reframed my thinking, I'm like, technically, I'm on time. Because I entered college again. I
Mm.
entered college again at 17.
Mm.
That's on time. That's like the perfect age for college.
Mm.
So yeah. Wala lang. I can relate to that aspect.
You know, I realized we also technically, like, Kay and I went to college at 15 as well, didn't we?
Yeah,
Mm.
we turned 16 first semester.
Fuck.
Mm. See, diba? It's too young. It's too young.
Do you have to
I didn't-
decide your future?
I didn't
Yeah,
even know what
exactly.
I wanted to do. That's why I took
Exactly.
psychology. Because fuck it.
With me, I only figured out na psychology is what I wanted nung after ko mag-bio. Kasi like, napilit lang ako kasi dapat talaga psychology yung gusto ko.
Mm.
Pero sabi na ko, wala kang pera dyan. Wala kang pera dyan. Which is true. Pero wala kang pera dyan, so mag-doktor ka. Parang ganun. Gusto pa kanila mag-lawyer ako eh. Kasi ako to yung magiging unang lawyer ng pamilya. Like, that's it. That's all they want. Like, the title, the glory, or like
Yeah.
the marker of
Mm.
the family na parang, oh, you're the first of this in the family. You're the first lawyer. I'm like, I don't care about that. To be honest. I don't care sa hindi ko pinursu.
It's the typical Asian mindset. Lawyer,
Yeah.
doctor, or failure.
Yeah, exactly. Kaya nung sinabi ko na mag-shift ako ng psychology, nagalit yung tatay ko.
Mm.
Disappoint siya. Eh, wala siyang magawa. Yun yung gusto ko eh. As eventually, he's like, sige, papatay tayo ng clinic. siya na yung nag-push ng business side.
Mm.
So, like, okay, sure.
Why not?
Ikaw nag-decide eh. Sige.
Pera mo yan. Sige.
Pero yun. Anything else?
I have another note now. I just want to point out before I bring up like the other things I've noticed. The multiple dimensions theory.
Mhm.
We had that right. I should have brought this pala kanina. I forgot. I'm sorry. The multiple dimensions theory could also like bring up the aspect of the game where there's like different endings with different girls.
Yes.
It's like really cool to imagine like
Yeah.
that's why he's with this girl because in this universe they're like,
And then,
meant
like,
to be.
And like, this is the possibility of like what will happen if he ended up with this girl. So like,
Yeah.
diba, oh, interesting. So like, maybe that's like another universe, another rewind where Tomoya didn't choose Nagisa.
Mm-mm.
Diba?
They didn't
I-
meet in the fucking
I
hill.
had this
Yeah.
thought na kasi hindi ko in-expect yung ending na he's gonna get back Nagisa and Ushio. I had this thought na baka maging stepmother si Kyo for a brief moment.
Ah!
Inisip niya muna.
Oo, naalala ko na, yung, di ba, yung, akala ko stepmother ni Tomoya. I'm like,
That's a different story. That's another child Father age.
That's why I was confused. I'm like, huh? Yung si Ushio. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that too. Nakakala ko parang, are they gonna get together? Though I know, for some reason, I know na Nagis is gonna come back
Mm.
in some way. I may have been spoiled years ago. I don't know. But for some reason, I know that that will happen. Pero for a moment, I did think that. I'm like, magiging stepmother ba siya ni Ushio? Is it that parang, ano yun? Conflict of interest? Because siya yung
I think it's
teacher.
cute.
Mm.
I
Yeah,
think
it's cute. It's cute. Parang siya yung mga, yung teacher single parent fanfics, di ba?
Yeah.
Like, it's cute. But if you think about it, it's conflict of interest. Because, like, your student is also your stepchild. Diba?
I'd rather have that than Sunohara and Sanai.
That's true.
That's true. That is very true. I agree. I agree.
Okay. This is a pregnancy. So, yung
Mhm.
scene where Nagisa was giving birth, I
Yes.
feel like that was done really well. Like,
Yes.
genuinely, that scene, like, even though I knew personally what's gonna happen, that she's gonna die, blah, 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 that scene, I felt like I wasn't breathing alongside Tomoya.
Yes.
I'm like, holy shit, what's gonna happen?
The tension is so good.
Yeah, that they made that scene so good. I feel like that was the only scene out of every, like, all the two scenes that I can, like, say na 100% yung ano nila
Yeah.
dun, yung
Naput
And
na yung
yung
budget doon.
and yung parang yung scene where Tomoya's in shock, where everything lightened up, right? Yung, di ba,
dun
parang
sa
nag-bright lights.
ano, dun
Naging,
sa pregnant, yung
yeah.
birth.
Yeah, yung birth, yung labor scene.
Mm-mm.
Yung nag-desaturate lahat.
Mm-mm.
As Nagisa is dying, parang
Yeah.
that's so nice.
It was like very goosebumpsy.
Yes.
Goosebumpsy? That's not a word. I had goosebumps during that.
Yeah.
Parang, oh my god, the execution, the way that they animated that, the direction of the scene, the voice
Yeah.
acting specifically.
Yes.
Holy
And like
shit!
yung parang yung denial ni Tomoya when he knows na Nagisa is dead. It's like, here's Usho. Touch her head.
Yeah.
She's here. Look, she's
Honestly,
here.
like, I know Nakamura is a good voice actor. He is a veteran in his, like, pero oh my god, yung scene na yun, sabi ko, oh my god, this is why I follow Nakamura. Ito yung reason ko.
Sino
kung
ulit si
bakit-
Nakamura from like the
Gojo.
characters I know?
Gojo.
Oh, go. Oh, okay.
And Kuro. Gojo and Kuro.
Who's Kuro?
Haikyuu.
Haikyuu.
Kuro. Okay. Got it. Yeah.
Oh my god, I've
Yung,
seen a lot.
sorry. Naging crush ko si Kuro when I saw that dance animation of him wearing high heels and he's just
No!
dancing. I actually like that Kuro. I'm not gonna lie. I like that Kuro.
Ayun, parang, I've seen a lot of his characters.
Yeah.
Like, I've watched a lot of his anime. But holy shit, this one, like, this is one of the rare moments that I'm like, I am glad that I follow you. I am thankful for your talent.
The voice acting is like really.
Honestly, man, gusto ko i-point out yung voice acting. Actually, sa dulo ko ito i-point out sa. Pero, oh my god. Gusto ko i-point out yung soft voice niya when he talks to Nagisa. Ayun, parang, he uses like this soft voice when he's voicing
Yes.
Nagisa. Pero, oh my god, yung birth scene talaga.
He uses he's using his soft voice when he's voicing Nagisa.
No! When he's talking
That's what you said.
he's talking to Nagisa. It's like so, it's actually really sweet. Fuck.
Yeah.
Ang ganda ng
Like
It-
you can tell how different he feels about Nagisa and other people. He can tell. Yeah.
honestly, this is why I'm fans of seiyus. This is why I'm passionate about seiyus.
like just that aspect of the voice acting alone is already storytelling in itself.
Yeah. Right? Oh,
Yeah.
fuck. Pero legit yung birth scene talaga. Like, I was crying that time.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god. Pero like, while I was crying, my brain was like, "Oh my god, I'm a fan of this scene. I am a fan of this scene."
Your brain is screaming.
Yeah, shit. Oh my god, I love it. Amen. Finish the anime. This is 100%. If I have to
Like
rate the anime with that scene,
we don't need to revive Nagisa. Just end it here. It's
yeah, right?
fine.
Honestly, if I have to rate the anime with this
Yeah.
scene alone, I'd give it a
Yeah.
100. That's how beautiful it was for me. Obviously, it
Yeah.
has its flaws.
Yeah.
If like objectively, I have to like
Yeah.
objectively, but honestly speaking, holy shit, it's one of the scenes. I don't know why I didn't put it in my. I have a list of scenes in my phone, like scenes that just blew my mind.
Yeah.
But like holy shit, it's like one of the rare moments that I can actually say that I have. I am
I'm
in
actually
love
gonna
with the scene.
change some of my ratings now that we're talking about this. So,
Yeah.
ngayon ako yung naisip. This is too
Yeah.
low. Okay, anyway.
um And then, yun lang naman gusto ko i-point out do sa scene na yun. Gusto kong i-emphasize yung scene na yun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do we
um,
nominate?
do we have,
No, we have it in emotional scene, but we don't have Nakamura nominated yet.
I haven't nominated Nakamura.
Oh my
No,
God.
you guys haven't.
I've never, oh my god, shame on me. Okay, nominate Nakamura. Holy shit, I didn't know that. Akala ko na-nominate ko na siya. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Anyways, um, another scene that I wanna point out is when ito yun yung naiyak din dito si Kay. Yung umiyak tayong lahat dito.
Mm.
That part where he was telling Ushio about Nagisa. I like
Ah.
how they made like the going back and forth between the memories, like showing the
Mhm.
memories and then him telling the story.
Yeah.
It was so good. Like it was very emotional because you can see it in his mind and then you see
Yeah.
him talking to Ushio about it. It's like going back and forth. And it makes you like as a viewer, it also makes you like reminisce with him because like
Yeah.
obviously at this point in the anime, we all know that Nagisa's dead. So we're
And like
also
we
very
miss Nagisa.
yeah,
We miss their
we're
dynamic together.
emotional
Yeah.
in terms of Nagisa as well as a viewer. So like we see these memories like holy shit, this was their memories. We were there
Yeah.
with them and then
Yeah.
you see
We
him
saw this happen.
yeah. And then you saw him talking to his child about it. A child that he created with Nagisa.
I'm
Parang
like
it's
and
very
like
emotional.
and I feel like it solidifies the fact that Nagisa is God.
Yeah.
That really like put the nail on the coffin. Pun
Mm,
intended.
yeah.
So,
Na parang yeah, Nagisa's dead. Like
yeah, she's
at
gone.
this point, if we weren't spoiled, honestly,
Mm-mm.
if I wasn't spoiled specifically, personally, I would think that okay, we don't have any hope of her coming back.
Yeah, that's
There's no
true.
mistake na she's dead. She's
Yeah,
fucking dead.
yeah.
Like,
Like the only happy ending we will get is Tomoya recovering and like being happy with Ushio.
yeah. And then the
Parang
next
ganun.
scene, Ushio's fucking dying.
That's gonna be so painful though if we like have no idea.
Yeah.
Like we weren't spoiled at all. Like that would have hurt a lot more. Na parang,
Yeah.
wait, like, she's the only good thing he has left. Why is she dead?
It's honestly like personal as well. It's a personal attack as well because like we've already established. I'm going back, pero medyo short lang.
Yeah,
We've already established that he's already feeling very cursed in terms of his family, and he feels like every bad thing's
yeah.
happening,
After
because
he gets a good thing.
and then after that parang he does get this good thing like we think that everything's okay, he's okay with his father, he's had like closure and
Yeah.
everything like that,
And like
and
he's
then
he's rekindled his relationship with his
with,
parent-in-laws.
yeah,
Diba?
parang, and then Ushio's dying, parang it's coming back na you can't have any good
Yeah.
things, you can't have
Did
nice
you
things,
guys
parang
know
ganun.
since we're already talking about this? I don't know if you guys got it, but Tomoya died
Mm.
apparently.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dun
like
sa
it didn't register to me
mm,
that he died, but yeah, he died with Ushio. that day, and like just it's just, like why did he, like if we didn't know what's happening, like why did it have to end this way? Why did they have to
It's
die, like both of them? Diba?
it's
Parang
very
there's
tragic.
no, yeah, like there's no happy ending. Parang ganun yung magiging conclusion.
Honestly speaking, I'd rather he died than live.
Mm-mm. Same.
Alone, yeah,
Yeah,
and like live with the grief.
I'd rather just he died with his daughter.
Yes, yeah,
So they can still technically like if there's an afterlife that we
and
believe
like
in.
in a morbid way, they're still
Uh,
together, and they
yeah,
can meet Nagisa. Like they
yeah,
can be a happy family in the on the other side.
yeah.
Parang ganon.
Parang ganon. Um,
Instead of him, because we've seen him grieve.
yeah.
He he grew up grieving his mom and his dad, and then when he had his child, he ended up grieving Nagisa's death. So
Mm,
we know what happens to him when he grieves, when he's in pain. And
mm,
so you're right. Like I would rather him just die with Usho than
mm.
see him keep on living,
Go through that again.
but keep on grieving
Yeah.
again and again. Alam mo
Mm.
yun? Because that will just destroy him.
It's
So
actually that's why it's nice to see na there's so many bad things happening to you. At the end, you'd still have your happiness. If only life works that way.
oh,
So,
oh my god.
but it's still nice to see. That's why we watch fiction is to like escape our reality and like
Yeah,
believe in all
exactly.
these little things. Like
Yeah.
even you listener who's listening right now, even though there's so many bad things happening to you, at the end you'll get your happiness.
and
Maybe.
I'm sure you're listening to this podcast because there's something that you're running away from.
Exactly. So like we're all
Reality check.
escaping.
Reality check.
All escaping some things.
Yeah,
Basically.
exactly. Which reminds me, I have a bullet point related to that.
Yeah.
Yung escapism.
Yeah.
It's related to Yoshino.
Yeah.
Di ba, like we had the backstory
Mm,
about him, right? Sabi ni Yoshino, this like really struck me. Sabi niya, to live is the ugliest act. To be alive is like the ugliest thing you can do. Parang ganon. Tapos, um, parang he talked about his life as an artist, right?
mm,
Where the reason he's singing is because he wanted to give hope, right? Now he's creating all of these things because he believes he's helping people. But then he realized na, oh, and everything I'm releasing, it's no longer mine. Parang the moment I put this out into the world, it's shared by everyone now.
mm,
And like it's also owned by the listener. And it kind of reminded me of Yoongi,
mm,
K-pop time. Yoongi had this interview where he said na he knows or he understands that every song that he releases, it's no longer his alone. It's already owned by the fans. And so they are free to interpret it the way they want. Like dissect it, chew it out, spit it out. Parang yun yung sinabi niya. Tapos wala lang, naalala ko lang na parang that's true. Na, di ba, like you're not exactly just writing for yourself. Because at the end of the day, there will be someone out there who will relate to what you wrote, not necessarily because it's exactly the same, but because how they interpreted it kind of reflects their own life. Parang ganon.
And like there will
Tapos,
be some people that would like see it differently than you did.
yeah.
Parang,
Though, yeah, continue.
parang you have this intent and some people might not see that intent, that they'll see it differently than you
Yeah,
did. Parang ganon.
yeah. And like, there's a beauty in that,
Mm,
right? Na parang your art has related to so many people in many different ways.
mm,
But that's also the thing that made Yoshino kind of dislike what he's doing,
mm,
right? Parang sabi niya, the songs eventually deviated from ideals and began to be echoes of such reality. Na parang instead of him having his artistry as some form of escape, it just became another version of his own reality. Na parang it became a reflection of it. And I actually relate to that. That's why I stopped writing multiple times. Kasi there came a point where everything I'm writing is about abuse
yeah.
and like my trauma, where it just became tiring. Na parang, is this all I'm ever gonna write about? Like, is this all my life is going to be?
Mm,
it's just gonna be trauma and pain. So, na parang I used to write because I thought it was like some form of escape. Na parang, oh, I'm just writing down my thoughts kasi like I have nowhere to write it down. Like I just want someone to hear. And then eventually I'm like, I'm just reiterating what's happening in my life. And like I'm reading it in my work. And I'm not really escaping. I'm just creating another version of it. I'm just torturing myself with it. So that's why there have been multiple times where I stopped writing because it's just the same thing. Like it's tiring, right? Like you're tired of your life and then you create something out to escape. But it's the same thing that's happening in real life. So I'm like, where do I go now? Diba? So like wala lang nag-relate ako doon kay Yoshino in terms of like his artistry.
Mm.
Yeah. Wala lang.
I
Yun lang.
honestly like the way that they did Yoshino's arc,
Yeah.
because his arc makes sense in the current
In the
parang he
storytelling.
shared his story because he knows that Tomoya will learn.
Yes.
But we
And I
did
wish
get his backstory, but it wasn't like this whole
arc.
thing.
Yeah. I wish the side characters kind of like had that same approach
Mm.
where it makes alam mo yun, it makes sense. Like again, in a gameplay perspective and then like a mechanic perspective, it makes sense now kung bakit ganun yung ginawa nila with like the side characters. Pero in terms of like cohesiveness, 'di ba? Parang hindi siya cohesive for me. So that's why I really like Yoshino, as you said, because it makes sense for it to be there.
Yeah.
Kasi it relates to Tomoya. Yeah.
Tourist Spots.
Hi, welcome to Tourist Spots with Lila. Right now I'm gonna be recommending a band I really like. As far as I know, they're still like indie. They're still like very small, and they deserve recognition. Okay, let's support indie Filipino artists. So this band is called Over October. I don't remember how I discovered them, but I just started listening to them throughout the pandemic on repeat. The three songs that I wanna recommend are the songs Wait, Arbitrary, and Alive. So Wait, if you want a song kapag sa wika, alam mo yung hintay ka ng hintay pero parang wala rin, listen to Wait. Kapag umaasa ka na meron, alam mo yun, parang siguro meron, siguro may something arbitrary. Pero kapag iniwan ka na, alive. So yeah,
May
yun lang.
storyline yung recommendation, ah.
Yes, of course. Pinag-isipan ko yan, malamang kung if I did it, just ko, to 30 seconds, tapos so
I
yeah,
listened to
that's it.
Over October live and they're really good. Like really good.
I really wish I could like watch a live band one day, but like I've never experienced that. I've only seen videos of their live performances, and yeah, they're really good. Crush na crush ko si Janessa, yung drummer nila.
The
Y-
singer sounds like he ate the recording.
I know, I know. He sounds exactly the same, and then sometimes he sounds so much better. Tapos
Mhm.
may mga pinapanood din ako na live performances sila na hindi gig, like it's like a studio type of live performance.
Studio live.
Yeah, and pag change up nung vocalist yung notes, it still sounds so good. Like for some reason he could make it so much better. He's
I
so good,
know.
right? Like you didn't expect it. Like the song itself is good, and then you hear them live, and it's like better. Even if he changes the notes, he changes it up like a little bit. It sounds so good. And again, Janessa, you have my heart.
Public
Yun lang.
proposal ba to?
Yun lang. Ay, hindi pa. I don't wanna date. Yun lang. I just wanna express my appreciation for you. Yun lang po. So, yeah. So, that was over October. Yun. Syempre, may storyline din yung recommendations ko. Kasi wait lang. Masyadong ano eh. Mapanakit yung ano eh. Mga kanta na over October.
Tourist Spots.
have other things to my last point is like very random na. But
Um,
Very
I have
random din yung akin.
I have another one.
yeah.
Just going back to Sanay and Akio when Nagisa died. Right, di ba nabanggit ko kanina na when Nagisa died, Sanay and Akio still had to be parents.
Yeah.
Kasi although Tomoya is an adult, he's a kid. You know?
Mm-mm-mm.
Like this is they already know that he has had a painful upbringing, and that this must have been painful for him because imagine losing someone after having a child of your own. Like that must have been painful,
Yeah.
especially since Sana and Akio almost had that with Nagisa, and now it's happened.
Mm.
Like they almost lost Nagisa before, and now she's gone. And
She's actually gone.
yeah, and like they never had they couldn't stop being parents because they had to take care of Tomoya and take care of Ushio now that Ushio's here. So parang it just reminded me of Glee when Finn died, when what's his I forgot his name.
Cody. Let's see. Corey. Cody.
Corey, yeah, Corey
Who
Monteith.
the fuck is
Um
Cody?
I'm like, yeah, who's Cody? Zack and Cody?
It was like it starts with a C.
Yeah.
And for some reason, Cody yung pumasok sa utak ko.
You're just one letter off.
Yeah, it's just
Close
one
enough.
letter off.
So
Just
yeah,
one
see
consonant.
when Cory Monteith died, diba, they had a tribute episode for him, the quarterback, and there was a scene there. It was Finn's parents, so Corey's character, his parents in the show.
Mm.
The mom said, although your child is gone, you never stop being a parent. And that's kind of like the grief of it. That's like the painful part of losing a child. Na you don't have a child anymore, but you're still a parent. You're still a mom or you're still a dad. That will never go away because that's already part of your identity. And it just hurt a lot to realize na sana I never had the chance to grieve Nagisa. That's why yung part na Akio and Sanay were talking, di ba? Nung
Yeah.
tulog sila, Ushio, tsaka si Tomoya, nagising si Tomoya. Sabi niya, it's okay, you know? It's okay to let it all go now. Like, you don't have to be so strong anymore. It's okay to let go. I'll be here to hold you. And then Sanay just broke down because she never had that.
Yeah. She
And
never
I
had the
feel
chance.
like, yeah, and I feel like that might have added to Tomoya's guilt na he's been grieving for 5 years and yet Sanay never had the chance to grieve the death of her own daughter. And it's just really, really sad.
I don't think you should put might. It definitely added to his guilt.
Yeah, that's true. That's right. Like it definitely added to his guilt. Na yeah, parang there's just so many layers to it after Nagisa died. Now there's so many like connecting threads and like complexity in everything and everyone, and I just appreciate how multidimensional the characters are. Even though at first you'd think one-dimensional lang sila Akio tsaka sila Sanay, they're actually very, very multidimensional, and then they're very real. And I appreciate that part as well, na they gave Sanay a chance to grieve.
Yeah.
Nagisa. Because she deserves a chance to grieve Nagisa. That's her daughter. That's the kid that she sacrificed so much more for to keep her alive, and then now she's dead. But I'm also glad that they didn't blame Tomoya. Kasi Tomoya is already doing that, diba?
Yeah.
Na he thinks na Sanay and Akio wouldn't have lost their daughter if I didn't meet her. And
honestly, he should have just said, you wouldn't lose your daughter if we use protection. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Nung sinabi,
So important lesson of the day: use protection.
Use protection so you won't die. Amen.
nung
Paano
sinabi
yan?
ni Lila na multidimensional si Sana at saka si Akio, I feel like everyone is sa ano na to, sa story,
Yeah.
except for Fuko.
Yeah,
I still don't understand her part.
I'm not gonna lie, me too. I'm sure there's something that we're missing.
Honestly, I feel like she's just there to prove na there is like like another world. She probably did. I'm pretty sure she met Ushio in the other world.
Yeah.
Um although honestly, we can do without her.
I like
Yeah.
season 1 Fuko, but season 2 Fuko is annoying.
Seriously, honestly, I feel like we could just go without her.
Yeah,
I swear.
that's true.
Like,
Though,
are you
yeah,
serious?
di ba may theory ka na Foucault might have had access to the other world as well?
Mm,
Or she might be, like a different version of Ushio,
yeah.
where she's also like another, like, girl with a robot.
Mm,
Parang ganon. Kasi di ba she saw Ushio in her big self, in her other world self, 'di ba?
yeah.
Nung sabi niya, there's someone there. It's the friend, ganyan, ganyan, ganyan. And then when she was walking towards the girl sleeping, it's Usho the kid and Usho the big girl. So
Mm-mm.
like maybe she's had access to that. I don't know. Pero yun nga. It wasn't exactly clear.
Honestly, I do think that that happened,
Yeah.
but even still, I think we could do without her.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I don't know. She's one of the characters that you don't have to be here. Why are you here? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Go away.
Ah,
Meron ka pa? Like important.
no, I think I'm done.
Okay, this is my
Yeah.
random thought. Uh, and I quote, this is what I wrote in the note. I quote, what type of genes did they mix to get Nagisa this sick? Then pass it to Ushio.
Yeah. Like ano
Seriously.
yun?
Like, both the parent, Akio and Sanae didn't have any issues. Like,
Yeah.
what type of genes do you have to mix
It's
together to have
probably a
Nagisa?
recessive gene. It's probably a recessive
Then,
gene.
like, transfer, pass it to Ushio. Like, honestly, what did you guys
Ano meron sa dugo nyo?
Ah, that's my only random thought. That was my only
Yeah.
random note, by the way. Sa notes ko.
Ako
Ang,
ang dami.
ang random bullet point ko is Okazaki Nagisa.
Ah,
Oh!
Kinilig ako doon.
Yeah.
Ang
Ano
ina
ka
niya.
sa kinagi sa... Yeah. That's true. That's
Ah.
true. Anyway, bottom line is, sana Akio best parents.
yeah, they are. They're the
Yeah.
I have
Do we have...
they're the parents
Do we
that I
have...
wish I had.
Same.
You have anything else? That's all that I have.
I like Ushio's voice acting as well. Personally,
Oh
especially dun sa
yeah.
breakdown scene. It really feels like a kid. Kasi di ba most of the time, you can tell that it's an adult trying to speak like a kid.
Mm.
Like you can just tell that it's an adult. Pero Usha, it really feels like a kid just looking for connection with her dad.
Tourist spots.
Hello and welcome to another tourist spot. This is Kay, and for my recommendation, I'm recommending my all-time favorite female artist in the whole world. She's the love of my life. I will die for her.
Love confession
It's-
din ba ito?
yes, it's a public confession. um, it's Reese Lansangan. So Reese Lansangan, I discovered her in college. I was getting into Filipino indie music, and then I heard her song Exploration Number 5. It was really cute. Her whole Arigato Internet album is actually like very playful. Um, but the songs that I will recommend of Reese, only one of them is from that album. So it's a song about space. It was actually used by NASA for their
Oh,
Launch America ad campaign.
nice.
Basta it was used by NASA, and it's literally a song about space. Reese has this thing about um outer space, galaxy and stuff. That's her whole vibe. Um Another song that I will recommend is For the Fickle. It's more of a love song, but it's not a love song. It's more a sad letter. In That's my own words. Don't quote me. Don't It's my own opinion.
It's your own interpretation.
Uh yeah, it's my own interpretation. I also recommend the whole Time Well Spent album. Time Well Spent is more cottagecore. It's very calm. All the songs there are really nice, and I recommend listening to the whole album from start to finish, since it tells a really nice story about feeling peace with yourself. And then, just for fun, I wanted to add Dekimas, which is a single from her. It's basically about her learning Japanese, and hindi ko alam kung anong Japanese level niya na by the time nalalabas 'to. But, um, right now I think she's N3. So congratulations to her. I'm very proud of her. Ayan lang. That was, my recommendation. So yeah.
Lila's clapping, but she you can hear her
Oh,
clapping.
it was on purpose para hindi maistorbo yung recording. And like I did this. It's literally just this. Can't even hear it.
Well,
I can't even hear
for
it.
Reese, Lila is clapping for you
Yes.
Mhm.
in
Reese
private.
is amazing.
You can't see it, but it happened. Trust me, bro.
Tourist spot.
Okay, so my rating. For the plot, out of 30%, I
Mm-hmm.
gave it a 2.4.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Honestly, this was 2.1 kanina. Just a
Mm-hmm.
7. I gave it a lower score at first because I still feel the same as season 1. I feel like they
Mm-hmm.
could have created the plot better.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Medyo tinaasan ko siya for the second half because just because while we were talking about it, I did see the good points of it. Like the dynamics of the characters,
The
like all the
complexity
scenes.
of
Yeah, the
things.
complexity.
Yeah.
It is good. It's just that they could have done some of it better. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
it's a good story.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is a good game story. It could be a good book as well,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like they could have, which brings to my next point, which is execution. Out of 30, I give it a 2.4 as well. This was 2.1 as well kanina. I feel like they could have executed did it better. I gave it a lower score at first because I still don't like the way that they executed like all the arcs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Although I gave it a higher score than season 1 because I love the second half more.
Mm-hmm.
I love how they executed all the problems and all the closure and shit at the end.
Yes.
Parang nag full circle siya. We had those foreshadowings, we have those hints and pieces. We saw that scene with parang they started the scene with Nagisa and Tomoya at that hill. They ended it at the hill as well. Parang it wasn't it came full circle. So I did like the way that they executed that part. I still believe that they could have done it better. Um and then for the animation, I gave it a 1.4 out of 20%. Um it's 2009. It's not the best animation, obviously. It's still good um for um for that year. But like, I don't know. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cinematography wise as well, like if we bring that into account, I did like some of the scenes,
Mhm.
but it's still not the best for me.
Mhm.
Acting, I wanted to give this a perfect score
Mhm.
solely because of Nakamura-san. But may times lang na medyo hindi there were some characters that honestly I don't know if it's just the way that they were acting, but like honestly I can't, parang hindi ko ma-distinguish sometimes yung voices ng other characters. Parang medyo mix
Mhm.
na sila together.
Mhm.
So, kaya I docked 1 point. But like, in certain scenes, as we've mentioned a while ago, the voice acting was superb. So,
Mhm.
tinaasan to ni Nakamura. Si Nakamura yung nag-aat. As per usual. Baka bias lang ako, pero honestly, I just love his voice acting. Soundtrack,
Yeah.
I gave it a perfect score. I love both opening and the ending. I like how they keep using that worship song in like all the very emotional scenes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
um,
Oh yeah, that's true.
and the reason why I gave it a perfect score is because they create that tango song. Like you think that it's just an ending song for season 1, but it's actually very parang relevant
Relevant.
to the plot, and
Yes.
it's very important to the plot as well. So
Yeah. Because
I like,
the point of the plot is like having a big family, a big
yeah,
happy family,
yeah,
and
and then
it's recurring then, so it's nostalgic because
yeah, yeah,
Nagisa
yeah.
loves it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like it became such a huge part of them na parang even after she died, Uchiyo still has this thing with her mother, like a connection to her mother through that song.
And
Parang
it's the
ganon.
Dango song. Yeah.
Yeah. Parang that's why I gave it a perfect score. Not only did I like the opening and the ending, parang I like how they use that little song
Yeah.
create something bigger. Parang ganon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Overall, it's an 80.5 for me.
Yeah.
So that is my rating.
So for my rating, I gave the plot 25 out of 30. I really like the
Mm-hmm.
plot this time.
Mm-hmm.
Probably because we skipped a few. Just why nataasan ko siya. Execution 18 out of 30.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping they would go like forgo na yung ibang side characters.
Mm-hmm.
Kasi nga we covered all of those. I thought we covered all of those in the first season.
Hindi
That's
pa pala.
why hindi pa pala. So I hiniwa ko na lang siyang 18% out of 30. Animation medyo mataas sa akin.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it 18 out of 20 kasi I
Mm-hmm.
felt like it was better in the first season kahit na it felt like it was better than the first season kasi 1 year lang yung gap nila. 1 year lang ba? Kailan ba yung Clannad?
2005.
Oh,
Di
4 years. So yeah, it is better
Tama ba?
animation. So,
No, no, 2007. 2007.
2
2
years.
years.
Yeah.
It's better animation. There were some scenes that were absolutely beautiful. May comment ako dito ng cinematography. Pati yung art style, it got better.
Mm-hmm.
Meron pa ring times na they would randomly cut and it was awkward, pero hindi na siya ganun ka-noticeable ngayon.
Ako never ko napansin.
Na-notice ko rin na the girls were more sexualized in this season for some.
Really?
Yeah, I felt like they were more sexualized. Lack of better word, I don't know how else to word it, but I felt like they were sexualized more.
Mm-hmm.
Tapos, I like the way that they aged Tomoya. Like, when he
Yes.
was, parang healing his relationship with Ushio. Kita mo yung bags under his eyes. He has
Yeah.
wrinkles.
Yeah.
Tas ano ba? He has this more
Like-
mature aura around
Yeah.
him.
Yes. Like you can tell he's grown
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
just by the art style alone.
Tapos acting, perfect score. Wala akong complaints.
Mm-hmm.
And soundtrack, of course, perfect score din. So, ang
Mm-hmm.
overall ko is 81%.
Okay. So, ako yung pinakamataas. So, for me, the plot, out of 30%, I gave it a 24% or 2.4. Kasi, I like, I like the plot. I like the story. I like the point of things. I just don't like the progression.
Mm.
Na parang, yun nga, parang nakukulangan ako kay Nagisa. Yung scenes niya kay Nagisa, na parang I didn't connect much to it. Tapos, it was really difficult to understand yung pinaka main point ng story. Like, the adventure. Like, ano yung goal ng story. It was difficult to understand unless you research about it and like learn about the game. If you don't know na it's a game, it's probably gonna be confusing. So, kaya 2.24% lang siya. And then with the execution, I gave it a 22.5% or 2.25. It's the same as the last time na parang it's not really cohesive.
Mm.
Um, parang tawag dito, parang it's too dragging. Kasi yun nga, since hindi ko alam yung point ng buong plot and like the mechanics of things, it felt like filler lang yung side characters, yung mga arcs nila. And I wish they did something to make it flow better and like make it cohesive. Tapos yun nga, yung, di ba yung mechanic of the game is that Tomoya has to collect light orbs to have his good ending, like his final wish. And I didn't really see that kasi I pointed this out earlier. Sabi ni Kay, you can see the orbs of light throughout the story. Pero to me, it just looked like a normal anime filter when something good is happening or something magical is happening. It just looked like a normal anime filter and it didn't really feel like it's relevant to the plot. So I wish they did something na more consistent, parang yung kay Ushio. Kasi it
Mm.
only really registered to me na merong something about light nung nakita ko yung, nung pinakita nung anime yung um, light orb touching his chest
Yeah.
na Ushio. So, di ba, like that scene where his father was gonna go home to the grandmother.
Mm.
I wish they did something like that throughout the story to make it more consistent para din gets mo na yun pala yung nangyayari. So that's where I feel like the execution was kind of lackluster.
Yeah.
In the animation, out of 20%, I gave it 16% or 1.6. It's the same as Bri, where it's it's 2009, it's old, but
Mm.
it's a bit higher kasi I like the coloring.
Mm.
I like how they used parang sabi din ni Kay na I like how they used the way they drew the characters to show a story na Tomoya has aged, Tomoya has matured, Tomoya is grieving. Parang ganon. Same nga yung coloring, like yung birth scene where everything was desaturated when Nagisa died. Yeah, it's just really nice. Yung, even though yun nga, it's old. You can tell na it's old kasi a lot of the characters, especially the female characters, look alike. So, they look the same. Alam mo yun? So,
Mm.
yeah. And then the acting, it's perfect. Out of 15%, it's
Mm.
perfect. I have no complaints as well. I love
Mm.
it. Same with the soundtrack. It's also perfect.
Mm.
Yeah. I really like Tango. Ninote ko to dun sa very first
Mm.
season
Mm.
when I heard the Dango song. Naging emotional ako kasi that used to be stuck in my head. I think that was like the first anime song that really stuck to me throughout the
Mm.
years, even though I don't remember the story. Yeah, parang it was just very nostalgic for me. And it's nice to see na that's also the point of the song throughout the whole story. Na it's supposed to be nostalgic of
Yeah.
Nagisa. Parang ganun. And obviously the opening then, ilang beses ko to sinabi, I like this very specific part dun sa song.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just sad that it's not on Spotify. Like yung nasa Spotify puro covers. I
Mm.
actually looked for it, but I found them on SoundCloud, so I saved them on SoundCloud. But yeah. Anyway, overall, my rating for the whole anime, Planet After Story, is 82.5%. It's
Lalapit
not
na
far
lahat ng
off.
scores natin.
Yeah. So that has been Clannad After Story. It's a roller coaster of emotions. Ang dami nangyari throughout this discussion. I hope you enjoyed it. Our final rating for this anime is 81.3%, which is very satisfactory for us. So yeah, that's all we have for today.
Side.
Track.
Thank you for joining us on our therapy session. I hope the world grants you your biggest wish.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.